Have you ever imagined facing the greatest basketball player of all time and still having the guts to trash talk him? Well, not many can walk away from that with their heads held high. But Michael Jordan, the true king of the court, had some of the most epic and hilarious humiliation moments in NBA history. Today, we'll tell the story of how he not only silenced one of his biggest trash talkers, but did it with a style only he knows. Grit, talent, and a pinch of unforgettable revenge. Get ready, because if this already surprised you, just wait until the end. First of all, let us get one thing straight. Michael Jordan wasn't just a monster on the court. He was a psychological force to be reckoned with off the court too. While his jaw-dropping dunks, clutch shots, and relentless defense made headlines, it was his trash talk that often set the tone before the game even began. Michael Jordan had this unique ability to get inside his opponents' heads with nothing more than words. Those provocative, confidence-shaking quips that made rival players question themselves before the first tip-off. But here's the key. It wasn't just empty talk. Jordan backed up every word with undeniable skill and fierce competitiveness. He knew exactly when to throw shade and when to make his opponents pay in the moments that truly mattered. Now, let's rewind to a tricky phase in his career. After his brief retirement to try his hand at baseball, Michael Jordan returned to the NBA wearing the number 45 jersey instead of his iconic 23. Many fans and critics thought he was rusty, out of sync, lacking his usual explosiveness. There was this collective doubt, is this really the same Michael Jordan we all worshipped? Enter Nick Anderson. Nick Anderson wasn't just any player. He was one of the rare few who dared to openly mock the legend of number 23 during this uncertain period. Some say Anderson was brave. Others say he was downright unlucky. Either way, he was bold enough to throw serious shade at Jordan, suggesting that the new 45 was seen nearly as intimidating as the old 23. This wasn't just playful banter. It was a public challenge that stirred the basketball world. This moment set the stage for one of the most intense psychological battles in NBA history. Because Michael Jordan never forgets a slight, and he definitely never lets it slide. Picture this. Michael Jordan was off to a rough start after coming back from baseball, tired, missing shots, and looking nothing like the unstoppable force he once was. The doubts were real, and his confidence seemed shaken. That is when Nick Anderson seized the moment and dropped one of the most memorable trash talk lines in NBA history. Number 45 doesn't explode like 23. In other words, Anderson was openly questioning whether Jordan was still the same legendary player, insinuating that the Air Jordan magic was gone. But here's the twist. Michael Jordan doesn't just brush off provocations like that. Oh no, Mike took it personally. He felt the sting of those words deep down, and that fire fueled something legendary. In a dramatic move that sent shockwaves through the league, Michael Jordan decided to ditch the number 45 jersey and return to his iconic number 23. The number that symbolized his dominance, his legacy, and his unstoppable spirit. From that moment forward, it was like the old Michael Jordan had been reborn. Nobody could stop him. Fast forward to Game 2 of that playoff series against the Orlando Magic. Michael Jordan exploded onto the court with a vengeance. He dropped an impressive 38 points, grabbed 7 rebounds, and played suffocating defense that shut down his opponents. But it wasn't just the stats that made this performance unforgettable. It was the style. Jordan wasn't just scoring, he was putting on a basketball clinic. He dazzled the crowd with slick dribbles that left defenders grasping air, thunderous dunks that shook the rim, and a confident smile that screamed, "Who's boss here?" Every move was a clear message to Nick Anderson, and anyone else who doubted him, that Michael Jordan was still king of the court. Anderson's earlier taunt backfired spectacularly, making him the subject of one of the most humiliating moments in NBA trash talk history. It was a defining chapter in the legend of Michael Jordan, a reminder that no insult goes unanswered, especially when it comes to the greatest to ever play the game. The intensity between Michael Jordan and Nick Anderson didn't just simmer, it boiled over as the series progressed. Each game was a battlefield filled with heart-stopping moments, jaw-dropping plays, and electric tension that had fans on the edge of their seats. The rivalry had reached its peak, with both teams refusing to back down. Anderson and the Orlando Magic fought hard, feeding off their own momentum and the energy of their home crowd. They were determined to prove that they could match the greatness of Michael Jordan and the Bulls. The Magic executed tough defense, played physical, and kept the scoreline dangerously close. It was clear they wanted to silence the legend once and for all. But the Bulls, led by Michael Jordan, had other plans. Game 6 became the ultimate stage for one of the most memorable comebacks in playoff history. The score was razor thin. Every basket counted. Every possession mattered. The Magic looked poised to close the series, with their fans dreaming of a stunning upset. The pressure was immense. The stakes at their highest. Then, like a switch flipping, Michael Jordan unleashed his genius. He took control of the game with surgical precision, dictating the pace and making clutch plays that left opponents scrambling. Every shot, every move was a statement. He was still the master of this game. His defense intensified, his drives to the basket became unstoppable, and his confidence radiated, igniting his teammates and silencing doubters. With each basket, the Bulls edged closer to victory. Jordan's legendary competitiveness shone brightest in those moments, showing that while trash talk may start the fire, he always finishes by putting out the competition with style, skill, and unshakable will. By the end of the game, Michael Jordan's leadership and sheer talent had flipped the script entirely. The Bulls took the lead, capturing the momentum and ultimately the win, turning the series around in a way only Michael Jordan could. This game wasn't just a win, it was a defining moment that sealed the legacy of that rivalry. A vivid example that no matter how hard the challenge or how loud the trash talk, Michael Jordan greatness always finds a way to triumph. Michael Jordan wasn't just a legend because of his talent. He was a master at handling opponents who thought they could rattle him with words. And it wasn't only Nick Anderson who dared to talk trash, only to be humbled spectacularly. Over the years, several other players tried their luck, but Michael Jordan's responses were always swift, fierce, and unforgettable. Take Gary Payton, for instance, a rookie at the time, full of confidence and eager to make a name for himself. During a preseason game, Payton's boldness reached new heights. He was loud, cocky, and thought he could intimidate the king himself. Throughout the game, he was trash-talking up a storm, acting like he had Michael Jordan number. But Payton didn't realize one crucial thing. Preseason games aren't tea where legends take it easy, especially not Michael Jordan. Jordan wasn't about to let some young upstart disrespect him without consequence. Though he played it cool during that first game, Michael Jordan used that moment to learn and plan his response. In the very next matchup, Jordan put on a basketball clinic, dominating the court with dazzling moves, unstoppable drives, and clutch shots that left Payton stunned and silenced. The rookie found himself outplayed and outclassed, quickly learning that words alone wouldn't win against the airness. And then there was Gerald Wilkins, famously nicknamed the Jordan Stopper. It was a title loaded with expectation, a reputation Wilkins wore with pride. The basketball world was watching, wondering if Wilkins could truly hold off Michael Jordan's relentless assault. But as with many who underestimated the GOAT, reality quickly set in. In a crucial high-stakes game, Wilkins stepped onto the court ready to prove the hype was real. Instead, Michael Jordan responded with an astonishing performance, pouring in 43 points with incredible efficiency and flair. Every basket was a statement, every move a reminder that stopping Jordan was nearly impossible. No matter how big the nickname or how loud the chatter, Wilkins' reputation as the Jordan Stopper crumbled under the weight of Michael Jordan excellence. It was a perfect example of how titles and trash talk meant nothing without the ability to back it up on the court, and Michael Jordan always did. These moments highlight a crucial part of Michael Jordan's legacy. His trash talk wasn't just about talking. It was about answering with action, skill, and undeniable dominance. Each player who tried to provoke him learned a valuable lesson: respect the king or get ready to be humbled. If this already surprised you, just wait until the end. Comment down below what you think about this epic trash talk between Michael Jordan and Anderson. Leave a like if it made sense to you and to show you a Michael Jordan fan. Share this video with someone who needs to know this unbelievable story. What do we truly learn from all these stories or moments? Michael Jordan was never just a player who knew how to put the ball in a basket. His greatness extended far beyond scoring points or winning titles. He was a master of the mental game, a strategist of psychological warfare on the hardwood. Michael Jordan understood better than anyone that basketball isn't only about physical skill. It's about mind games, intimidation, and the subtle art of getting inside your opponent's head before the first whistle blows. His trash talk was a tool wielded with surgical precision. It was never random or disrespectful for the sake of disrespect. It was a carefully crafted performance to throw his adversaries off balance, shake their confidence, and ignite his own competitive fire. When Jordan spoke, his words carried weight. When he challenged opponents, he made sure they knew who ruled the court, but always with an underlying layer of respect. His provocations weren't petty insults. They were challenges, daring his rivals to rise to the occasion or crumble under the pressure. And when they tried to answer back, Michael Jordan was ready, not just with words, but with jaw-dropping skill and unrelenting drive. This dynamic created a spectacle that transcended basketball itself. The rivalries, the banter, the comebacks, all of it elevated the game to an art form, a theater where mind and body clashed in epic battles. Every shot, every steal, every dunk became a statement not just of athletic prowess, but of mental toughness and psychological dominance. Michael Jordan's legacy in trash talk and competition is part of what makes him the greatest of all time. He showed us that winning isn't only about physical ability, it's about mastering every aspect of the game, including the battle of wills that happens in silence, in glances, and in words. Even today, players and fans study his approach, seeking to learn how to combine skill with psychological mastery. His story inspires generations, reminding us all that true greatness demands not only talent, but heart, mind, and the courage to face and overcome any challenge on and off the court. In the end, Michael Jordan didn't just leave a legacy of championships. He left a legacy of how to play the game of life itself with confidence, respect, and an unshakable will to win. So, what was the biggest trash talk Michael Jordan ever humiliated? Without a doubt, it was the case of Nick Anderson, the daring opponent who openly questioned Air Jordan greatness during a vulnerable phase of his career. Anderson's words weren't just a casual jab. They were a bold challenge aimed at shaking the confidence of one of basketball's most iconic figures. But as history shows, underestimating Michael Jordan was a costly mistake. The moment Anderson threw shade at Jordan's switch to the number 45 jersey and suggested he wasn't the explosive player he used to be, he unknowingly signed up for one of the most unforgettable humiliations in NBA history. Jordan didn't just respond with points on the scoreboard. He delivered a full-blown statement. With every dribble, every jump shot, every defensive stop, Michael Jordan turned the narrative on its head. He reminded everyone why he was the undisputed king of the game. His comeback wasn't just about stats, it was about reclaiming respect and restoring the aura that made him a legend. This rivalry between Jordan and Anderson became more than just a personal vendetta. It became an epic chapter in NBA lore. It combined raw technique, fierce competitiveness, and a sense of poetic justice that only Michael Jordan could deliver. And of course, Jordan's response carried that unmistakable charm. The kind of charisma that made him not only a basketball phenomenon, but also a cultural icon. Through this story, we see the perfect blend of talent, mental strength, and flair. Elements that made Michael Jordan trash talk legendary and left a lasting lesson. Never disrespect greatness or be prepared to pay the price with interest and penalties. So, did you enjoy this story about Michael Jordan legendary trash talk and unforgettable moments on the court? If this video brought you new insights, excitement, or just pure basketball passion, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to ring the bell so you never miss out on the latest videos packed with incredible basketball history, epic rivalries, and inspiring stories about our all-time idols. Here on the channel, we reel all about diving deep into the stories behind the legends, from jaw-dropping plays to the mindset that made them unstoppable. There's so much more to come, and you won't want to miss a single moment of it. So stick around, because we've got a lot of great content lined up just for you. Stories that will entertain, inspire, and fuel your love for the game. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Until then, keep that passion alive, and remember, legends are made not just by talent, but by heart and mindset.